everybody, and welcome to another Pilates session. We're going to do another one with the theraband today. I've just got a different colour to the one I did in the other video, which was red, just so it's easier for you to know the difference between the two videos. Okay, so if you don't have a theraband, probably best to skip this video because it's quite nice to use it for this. You don't have to have the theraband really tight, so you can have quite a bit of slack in it. That will be easier. The closer together, the harder. Now this green theraband is slightly firmer than the red. It's also slightly shorter. Okay, so you can just modify things. If you've got a heavy band, just be aware of that and maybe make the band a bit slacker. Okay, let's just start checking in with our posture before we do anything with the band. So you can pop that down on the floor. So as we're sitting in our chair, we want to feel like our feet are grounded on the floor. Whether or not you're in your shoes, you want to get a sense of stretching out through the toes. So there's 10 toes making contact with the floor. We're not rolling on the outside, we're not rolling on the inside. With those 10 toes on the floor, we're going to bring our legs into a parallel position, not squeezing in, not opening out. And we could draw an invisible line from our second toe through the middle of our knee and ending up in the tip of our hips. Now the pelvis, it's like a big bowl, and underneath each kind of side of the bowl, side of the pelvis, there is a sitting bone. We want to feel like there is even weight through those two sitting bones, so we're not off at the back, we're not leaning forward, we're not lifting one hip. Now I'm not leaning in the back of my chair, so I'm away from the chair a little bit, which means that the chair doesn't give me support. My abdominal muscles give me support. So I'm pulling the belly button in nice and deeply to help lengthen and hold my spine in good posture. So there's that sense of pulling the belly button into the spine. Now often we are in that little slightly forward flexed position, so you want to feel like you're drawing your shoulders back, they're nice and wide and open, almost like your upper body is gently being squashed, like you're a sandwich board, so almost like you're having to sit in between two panes of glass. So nice and vertical, broad through here, so the tips of these shoulders are above the tips of these hips. And then the head is sitting right on top of the spine, so we're not letting our head hang forward. Sit it back up like something's just appeared in front of you and you're just drawing your head back because everything is too close. Then with all of those beautiful posture components, we will think about the breath and we will use our theraband for this. So go ahead and pick it up and carefully, gently pass it around your back, opening it out so it is fairly wide if possible, and then wrapping it around you. So as much as possible, the theraband is sitting around the size of your rib cage. This is where we want to try and breathe into rather than little sniff accessory breaths up here. Okay, I'm going to tuck my elbows in and just give a little squeeze onto or a little pull into the theraband so I know it's there. Now when I breathe in, I'm going to try and breathe into where the theraband is. It's going to be tricky on the first one, so just focus on a nice deep breath out, letting as much air go out your body as possible without humping and rounding your posture. And then try and breathe into where the theraband is. And then just nice breath out. So you can breathe in or out through the nose or mouth. Just trying to feel like you're moving the theraband that little bit as you do this. We are breathing in. Very nice. We're breathing out. We'll do that one more time. We're going to breathe in. And we're going to breathe out. Very nice. We're going to try and keep thinking about those deep breaths. And we're now going to do a little bit of work on the legs. So you're going to take your theraband out from behind your back and pass it around behind your legs. Okay? So once it's just sitting behind your legs, I'm going to give it a little wrap over. So I'm making a little cross. And one of my hands is holding one side of the theraband, the other one's holding the other. So like we were with our ribs, but we've now pulled their legs here. So the theraband is going to give us some extra resistance as we move our legs. Remember, the tighter you pull the theraband, the harder it will be. The more slack, the easier. Okay? Now I've still got my legs in parallel. I'm going to do a tap alternating on each side for 8. So here we go, tapping out and in. And you can feel that theraband is pulling the leg in. But your job is to just try and stay nice and controlled with this. We have 4 more like this. So this is our alternating singles. We'll do 1 more on each side. Good, nice, excellent. So have a little pause. So if you didn't feel like there was any extra work going through the legs, you're somebody that needs to hold your theraband tighter. If it felt like it was quite a lot of work, you hold that theraband a bit with a little bit less, okay? This time we're going to do a double tap each side. We are still doing 8. Sit up tall, pull your abdominals in, 2 taps over to this side. We're going out and in, out and in, other way, out and in. And I'm just tapping with my toe. If you want to tap the whole foot down, that is absolutely fine. Quite hard work to sit up tall. Now we are using our oblique, deep abdominal muscles to stop us doing this as we move from side to side, doing really well. We've got these doubles. We've got 4 more sets, or not sets, 4 more sides to do. Just 1 more on each side. Double tap on that first side. Double tap on that second side and then pause. Good, that's been a lot of work there. So let's just take the theraband back in your hands and we'll do a little zigzag to just give the hips a little release. Our zigzag starts with our legs very close together, ankles and feet touching. We're going to lift the toes apart. I've got my heels touching. Then pivot on the toes, lift the heels to turn the legs in. Pivot on the heels to turn out the toes. Pivot on the toes to bring the heels. I've got 1 more in me I can do. And then we're going to bring that in. The toes in, we bring the heels in. We bring the toes in, we bring the heels in. I've got 1 more with my toes in, 1 more with my heels in, and then we'll go again. Out with the toes, and then the heels. And then the toes, and then the heels. And then the toes, that's the furthest I can go. I'm in with my toes again, lifting my heels in. Drawing my toes in, lifting my heels in. 1 more time, bringing my toes in, then bringing the heels in, and then that little bit is done. Okay, all right, so now let's do a little bit of movement with the upper body. We're going to do some rowing. So I'm going to open out my theraband and hook my right foot around it, okay? So my right foot is going to be anchoring the theraband. I'm going to do a good step with that right foot on the floor. The muscles we're trying to work are in between the shoulder blades. So I'm thinking of trying to squeeze my shoulder blades together and then release them. I'm going to be holding onto my theraband for some extra resistance. And I've taken the end of the theraband just in between the thumb and the second finger so it's sticking out at the top. Making little fists, so I'm holding my theraband firmly and I'm slightly leaning the body forward. So if I go side on, rather than our beautiful upright, we're just tipping into the shape. All right, I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades, pull my elbows back and release. Pulling back and release. So as you pull those shoulder blades all the way back, you want to feel that there is a little bit of extra pull. So the tighter the theraband, the harder the work, although there'll still be work even if you were doing this without the theraband. Now that's 8, so we're going to have a little pause and circle the shoulders. Okay, excellent. We're going to do a second set and just do a little double pulse on each one if you can, okay? So slightly tip forwards, holding the theraband. We're doing 8. Pull back, pulse, release forwards. Pull back, pulse, release forwards. Pull back, pulse, release forwards. Good. Pull back. Nice, steady breath flow. We have got 4 more to go. Pull back, pulse, release. Pull back, pulse, release. And last time, pull back, pulse, release. Good work. Now, well done. That's that first side done in terms of the foot. We need to swap the theraband to the other foot. And on this side, we're going to do some biceps. So we're not going to worry about the shoulder blades anymore. We're going to be doing this flexion at the elbow where we're bringing our arm up and down. Okay? Still a good strong stamp into that foot. This time we don't need to tilt forwards. We can just sit up nice and tall. And again, I've got the extra bit of theraband just in between my thumb and second finger. sit up tall, and draw the little bits of theraband into your shoulders and down. Now, the higher you hold, the lighter you'll make your band. If you've got quite a firm band, this might be quite tough, and you might want to do this without the theraband at all. We are doing 4 more like this. I'm sitting up tall. I'm still thinking about my deep abdominal muscles to help me with my posture. 1 to go, squeezing up and releasing down. Cool. All right, give the shoulders a little circle. As I've done through class today, we're going to have an extra little pulse at the top for the last little bit. So we're sitting tall, the tummy's in. We're going to pull up, pulse and down. Pull up, pulse and down. Nice work. Pull up, pulse and lower. Pull up, pulse and lower. We have got 4 more to go. 3 more to go. Last 2, and here we go. 1 last time and rest. Excellent. All right, let's take that theraband all the way out. Give your shoulders a nice circle. So we've worked at the back, we've worked at the front, but now we want to give our shoulders a nice big circle round. So now we want to feel that they can move in lots of different directions. Not just that specific range that we want when we're doing our strength, but a nice full range, which is so important for our general good health and posture. Okay, let's go back in the other direction. So if your muscles have only got a very small range and the joints have only got a very small range, all the rest of the joint just doesn't bother doing anything. It just gets stiffer and tighter. The stiffer and tighter the rest of the joint, the more it's going to encroach on that little bit of joint where the movement is, or that little bit of muscle where the movement is. We're going back in the other direction. And then that little bit gets overworked and the other bit gets just all tighter and stiffer. So really good to have everything moving as well as possible. Okay, 1 more. Okay, so with that in mind, this next movement is a little bit bigger. So what we are going to do is we're going to have the theraband in one hand and I'm holding it on this hip. Now, we are going to end up with the arm out here. So make sure you can get to this point without the theraband feeling too tight, okay? If it's too tight, give yourself some slack because we want to end up here. So the arm is going to start here, and traditional in a Pilates class, I'd call this drawing the sword. So imagine you've got your beautiful big broad sword down on this side and you're going to pull out, drawing a sword. So the point of the sword would continue to go out on that diagonal and then we come on in. We're bringing it out and in. Now, if it's too much for you to get your arm out, you can take it much lower at shoulder height instead of right up high. And of course, you can choose not to use the band as well. I like the band because it gives you a sense of finishing the movement. We are going to do 2 more on this side, and then 1 more, and then we'll pause. All right, give your shoulders a big circle round. Now for our second set, we're just going to add in a little bit of a twist. So rather than keeping my torso square, when I put my sword back, I'm going to look that way, and when I take my sword out, I'm going to look the other way. Now I'm trying not to just be my head, but trying to get a little bit of movement through the whole of the torso. Still, both of those pelvic sit bones are down, so we're not lifting a hip, but we're trying to get that lovely torso twist in as well. Let's give it a go. So, turning towards your sword in its sheath, and then turning as you take your sword out the sheath. Turn one way and open out the other way. Turn one way and open out the other way. Turn and open. Now we have 4 more to go. You decide where it's best for you to breathe with this. Is it as you breathe out as you open, or is it as you breathe in as you open? But try not to hold your breath. 1 more here. Good. And then we'll pause. Good big shoulder circle. Always a lot of work getting those arms above shoulder height. It's going to make your heart work a little bit more as well. And it is that extra range through the shoulders, so it can feel quite tiring. We're going to do the other side. So start by working out what your straight arm position is. How much theraband do you need to achieve this position? And then facing towards me, we're going to draw the sword and put it back in the sheath, and draw the sword and put it back in the sheath. draw the sword and put it back in the sheath. Now, I haven't talked much about your abdominals, but your abdominals are definitely working because they're keeping your spine in the center. If they weren't working, you would kind of collapse and then you'd swing off to the side. We're going to do one more. So kind of abdominal work by stealth. We don't know we're doing it. That's our little pause and we circle the shoulders. All right, so our last little bit was to add in that little bit of rotation as we're doing the movement. The spine is nice and tall, the abdominals are pulled in, and the pelvis is still nice and secure on your chair. Here we go. Turn to your sword in your sheath and open. Again, turn and open. Turn and open, and we turn and we open. Nice work. We've got 4 to go here, 3 to go here, 2 to go here. Last one coming up. Good, and there we go. All right, big shoulder circle all the way around and back and down. You have done really, really well. We're going to put the theraband down and just focus on some nice extra spinal movement with flexion and extension, okay? I'll go side on so I can just show you what I mean by the extension. So I'm going to have my hands on my legs and I'm going to slightly lean the body forwards and feel like I'm trying to point a beam of light out on the diagonal, like you are on the prow of a ship, like you're a figurehead. And then that little beam of light is going to point back in towards you and you're going to curve your spine back the other way. So I bring the breastbone up and then the breastbone is almost pointing in towards my belly button. So the breastbone points out on a diagonal and then it comes in into my belly. And again, it points out and it comes in. Good. We're going 2 more. Goes out. It comes in. And one more time. Let that breastbone point out and bring it in. Good. All right. Lovely. So that's a little bit of flexion and extension. It's now nice to do a bit of side bending. So one hand is going to dangle down. You can hold underneath your chair. The other arm can come across you here. It can go behind the head or you can reach it all the way up. If you're reaching up, imagining you've got a little marker pen and you're going to draw a little arc in the roof over your body in that direction. One hand is reaching down to the floor as we stretch over. Now this arm up here is a lot of extra weight for your body to hold on to. So you've got to pull your abdominals in to make sure that your spine and your body has support as it moves. One more. Take it over, take it back, release your arm down. Your big shoulder circle all the way around. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So the other hand is going to reach down to the floor. Option 1 here, option 2 here, option 3 up here. Little marker pen in your hand. You're going to trace a line across the ceiling and then back. Trace your line across the ceiling and then back. Good. Trace your line across the ceiling and back. And again, across the ceiling and back. We have got 4 to go. Reach over and release. Reach over and release. 2 to go. Reach over and release. And one last time. Reach over and release. And rest that arm down. Good. Big shoulder circle all the way around. We're going to focus a little bit on the neck and the head and getting a nice release through there now. The first thing is to drop your chin to the chest, look down into your belly, and then bring your head straight back up. We'll do that again. Chin to chest, look ahead. Chin to chest, look ahead. And one more time, chin to chest. Now we're going to look over this shoulder. Look over the shoulder, look center. Look over the shoulder, look center. Look over the shoulder, look center. And again. One more on each side. Look over the shoulder, look center, over the shoulder and center. And now we're going to go ear to the shoulder. So we've got a little tilt. We're going to go ear to the shoulder. So the rest of the body is just in a good posture. We're not moving the rest of the body. We're trying to get that isolation into the head and neck. So we can focus on that stretching without anything else getting involved. One more on each side. Lovely. Excellent. And then we're just going to finish with a very gentle little neck roll. I'm going to get you to draw the chin to the chest and then let your ear roll to one shoulder and then let your chin roll to the chest and we'll roll to the other shoulder. Lovely. Let the chin come to the chest, go to that first side, let the chin come to the chest, go to the other side. We're doing 4 more. Easy breathing as you move here. 2 more. 1 last time. Good. And then let the chin draw to the chest, bring the head up, roll the shoulders all the way around and back and down. And then let's just finish with a couple of deep breaths and we'll do a bit of shoulder movement as well. Inhale, up come those shoulders. Exhale, down go those shoulders. Lovely. Inhale, up go those shoulders. Exhale, down go those shoulders. Here's our last time. Inhale, up go those shoulders. Exhale, down go those shoulders. And we're done. Very nice work today, everybody. That was awesome work. Hope you enjoyed today's class and I'll see you again soon.